New Delhi has appealed for peace after a sudden escalation in the Russia-Ukraine crisis after the former President Vladimir Putin launched a special military operation on Eastern Ukrainian border. New Delhi also dialed both the countries and urged for the safety of the citizens of India.
The world woke up to raining missiles in Ukraine after Russia launched a fierce military attack on eastern Ukraine on 24th February. The attack that came in the backdrop of Russia's repeated attempts at preventing Ukraine from joining NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, a military grouping that has by and large been anti-Russia, failed. Russian President Vladimir Putin called it a military operation and not invasion, which the West and the Western media have broadly defined the aggression as. Death and destruction followed. Ukrainian envoy in New Delhi appealed the government of India to come to their rescue. He said India was a major influencer in the global order and it must step in to stop what has been one of the fiercest attacks since World War II.
I don't know how many world leaders Putin may listen to, but the status of Modi ji makes me hopeful that in case of his strong voice, Putin at least should think over. We are expecting for much more favorable attitude of the Indian government in this crisis situation.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Security, the country's top decision-making body on senior appointments in the national security apparatus. After taking the stock of the situation, Modi reiterated his long-standing conviction that the differences between Russia and the NATO group can only be resolved through honest and sincere dialogue. PM Modi appealed for an immediate cessation of violence and called for concerted efforts from all sides to return to the path of diplomatic negotiations and dialogue. Instead of just reading a symbolic template of peace and condemnation, Indian Prime Minister showed the way in his official statement, urging all countries to intensify their diplomacy in order to bring peace and harmony in the region. Modi also dialed Putin and urged him to de-escalate in order to restore peace in the region.
Our focus in the UN Security Council has always been on de-escalation of tensions, on diplomatic dialogue as the only way forward. And we've also emphasized on the existing agreements, the Minsk agreements, the Normandy format. We've also obviously placed the highest importance to the safety and security of our nationals in the Ukraine in our statements in the UN Security Council. And so in all of this, I think we have, as I said, maintained that people need to talk to each other, the parties need to be engaged.
India's Foreign Ministry also asked both the governments to facilitate a safe return of Indian nationals who are stranded in Ukraine. While many of them have returned in past few weeks, others could not make the return arrangements before Russia launched the strike. Teams of Indian Foreign Ministry officials have been sent to Ukraine's land borders with Hungary, Poland, Slovakia and Romania to provide assistance to any fleeing Indian national. Most of the Indians stranded in Ukraine are students who go to the country for medical and other educational institutions. The government has said that it is committed to bring back each citizen and its diplomatic endeavors to ensure peace in the region will continue.